Newsom says he is fed up. There are no more excuses. He says the state has done its part, providing plenty of funding to get encampments cleared up. He wants to see the results now. Governor Newsom made the announcement here in Los Angeles yesterday. He joined Caltrans to clear several encampment sites.
And we had our big body challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups to try to get under 5 minutes. How'd you go?
We got close. That was about 5:25. You were right behind us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat, our Thursday night TMI show. How are you? You barely had time to miss me.
You barely had time to miss you, barely had time to prep, but I did barely work today also, so there's that.
Okay. You had a
No
little,
complaints.
Little vacay?
Well, I ran around doing job bids, giving them a bid, and they take the bids, and we come back and do it later. So
Right.
Lazy
All
day. Lazy day.
That's good. I like those. Those
How you
are
doing?
important. Yeah, same. I told you yesterday, Josh was so sick. I think he got food poisoning the night before, but he was back on his feet today. So it felt more normal in the house. Yeah, everything is good. Everything, I mean, whatever. Is it good? It's really hard. Let me tell you, just spoiler alert, we don't even have a one good thing to end the show with tonight. That's where we are.
We could just end on one of the comedians and call it a day. Like,
I think
get a laugh in people.
That might be what we do, just to because it's fairly bleak, but I was just we do focus probably more on Democrats than any other issue or group of people because they are wholly inadequate and have delivered fascism to all of us. And I have so much to say about the debates and Gavin Newsom putting out his ads and Jeffries. And meanwhile, like half the White House is just gone. We just shot another boat out of the water. Now we're just going to call anybody a drug terrorist. I mean, we are.
Yeah, is that boat 9? Boat 9 then today? Did I miss that in the news?
There was another one either early this morning or late last night in the Pacific. So now we're striking two different seas.
Great. With no congressional authority.
No
judicial process for any of these people.
We're just going to call them terrorists.
I saw the other day they had some passengers that survived one and they let them go. So how guilty can they be if they're letting the two passengers that lived go? Right?
We have just completely dehumanized anybody we don't like, anybody who you could make a buck off of is a terrorist or Hamas or Antifa. It's just insanity, and very few people seem to be sounding the alarm. That said, we should start with our cheers and then do our wheel and then get into all the fun stuff that we have ahead of it.
That sounds right. I'm just going to drink my beer while you push the buttons if you want to do all the work for me.
Okay. I like that. I get paid extra today. Okay. This is Lindsay Boylan, I think, one of the Irish members of parliament to the UN, speaking out because the rest of the world is not the rest of the world. In the US, they are pretending that there's a ceasefire and everything is fine. And it is really imperative that there's accountability and consequences for genocide, slaughter of Palestinians. So here she is.
11 days ago, we welcomed the ceasefire. But since then, 153 tons of bombs have dropped on Gaza. 62 is the number of Israeli occupation force shooting incidents in the West Bank. 67,000 is the very conservative estimate for Palestinians killed. Unknown is the number under the rubble. 169,000 is the number of Palestinians injured. 4,000 is the number of children who have lost limbs. 154 is the number of children who have died from starvation. 355 is the number of bullets fired at Hind Rajab by the Israeli occupation forces. 1,722 is the number of health and aid workers murdered. 34 is the number of hospitals attacked. Almost 300 is the number of journalists and media workers murdered. 2 is the number of ICC arrest warrants for members of the Israeli government. 0 is the number of actions taken by the European Union. This ceasefire cannot be an excuse for the EU to sit on its hands. Now is the time for the EU to restore its credibility and to end its complicity in this genocide. There can be no peace without justice. There must be accountability for the lives behind these numbers.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, hear. Cheers to her. Lynn Boylan, MP to the EU. I got everything a little off at the beginning there. Sorry, no fake news here, but cheers to her. And, it's interesting. The Hind Rajab Foundation has just named 4 IDF soldiers that they say were part of the group of troops who killed Hind Rajab. Right. And now there seems to be some possible discrepancies there. Eunice,
I believe isn't one an American?
I think at least one might have dual citizenship. Yeah. But Eunice Trallis, who is a on the ground Palestinian reporter, he seems to think that it's possibly a different group of people, but which great. Sorry, but I just want to make sure. Is everybody seeing? Am I glitching? When you say glitch, can you just tell me, is it audio or video or both? Because maybe I should just refresh. No,
your video seems lower quality to me for some reason tonight.
Okay, guys, I am going to. Why don't we spin the wheel, show something fun, and I will. Oh, look, that's all I needed right there.
There it is.
Whatever the glitch is. Thank you. But if it's still happening, all right. Should I leave?
Bounce and come back. Yeah, okay. Go for it. But spin the wheel if you want, real quick.
Yeah. Okay, so let's add to the stage. Here we go. Audio is cutting out. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then I will leave and come back. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, baby.
Perfect. I will refresh, but
what did it land on? It's blocked. Oh, drinking.
Are you serious?
It's drinking.
It really?
Yeah, baby.
When in doubt.
Lefty laws. Right, there we go.
Perfect. Okay. I am going to leave and come back.
Good timing, because you're freezing a little bit too.
Okay. All
right. Let's go with the Emil Wakeham comedy.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No, God, please, no.
I don't know if I want revolution. I don't know. All my friends are like, we gotta fucking tear it down, man. We gotta restart. And I'm like, dude, I just got healthcare. I just barely figured it out. I'm like, can we wait till after my lease is up to kill the landlords? Just this one. I finally have a good spot. I got a balcony. I got comfy. That's what's dink. America trades you comfort for your empathy. That's why it's hard to stay on a movement here, because you get comfort and you're like, oh, I need that. I think that's why. It's like everyone is like, I want everyone to have a good, equal life. Bring the bottom up. But if it touches my life for a second, I'm off. If it delays my Amazon package by 30 minutes because they got to go to the bathroom more, I'm fucking killing the other guy's leader. I'm out. Don't touch mine. Comfort is bad for you. It really strips your morals down. That's why it's hard to stay progressive the older you get in America, because you get exposed to stuff and you're like, I need that now. It's easy to be young and be like, fucking free healthcare, affordable housing, fucking Zohran. And then you try an oyster and you're like, We got to do Homeless Guy Island. We got to do that. We got to send them all out. No, we do, yeah. Like a night, we'll gather them up. We'll send them to like a nice island that we're not using anymore. Like Epstein's Island. Okay, we send them all to Epstein's Island. Out of sight, out of mind. We don't have to feel bad anymore. I gotta stop caring about this stuff. I can't keep talking about Palestine. I want to get invited to the Hamptons. You know what I mean?
Oh, look, I'm even on the left where I'm supposed to be.
There you go.
Does it sound okay? Am I glitching out?
You sound better, and the graphics are sharp and not as pixelated.
Awesome.
So I think that fixed it.
Awesome. Also, welcome to all the people coming from Jen and Peter's Revolutionary Change. We are so grateful to them for sending their fans our way. We love them both and their show. So thank you all for coming along. Also, please do make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. And I will hope not to glitch out anymore. I like that guy. I like what he says. I hope the right people hear it. You know, like I really hope they get it.
Yeah, sorry, Kat's got the zoomies again. What the hell's going on here? It's chaos in my apartment right here.
Yeah, she's running all over the place.
Oh yeah.
No wait, sorry. The runs too. The runs too. Oh, that's Emil Wakim. Yeah, he's great. And I do think I saw somebody say it was at the Comedy Store. I think it was. I'm not 100%.
Yeah,
a lot of the places look like that now. They kind of like model them that way. Now, oh, sorry. I was like, what now? Oh no, it's a joke. You're coming through Israel. Your VPN's about to kick you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. So yesterday we had the final debate between the remaining three candidates for mayor of New York City. And it was an hour and a half, and there were some highlights that were interesting. Maybe we should just start. We'll just start.
Yeah, let's show a clip or two.
Comment. Okay. So this is about who has the courage to take on Trump.
Look, Donald Trump ran on 3 promises. He ran on creating the single largest deportation force in American history. He ran on going after his political enemies, and he ran on lowering the cost of living. If he wants to talk to me about the 3rd piece of that agenda, I will always be ready and willing. But if he wants to talk about how to pursue the 1st and 2nd piece of that agenda at the expense of New Yorkers, I will fight him every single step of the way.
Okay. Short rebuttal from
the right answer. Yeah.
That was the right answer. He was great. He feels so relaxed up there. He's not mean, and he sticks to his message. He has a very Bernie/Obama vibe, which scares me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to watch. I watched a few highlights today, but I didn't get to actually watch it. But I watched almost all the first debate.
Yeah, me too.
And in the first debate, he was very scripted and not very impressive in the first half, I thought. But see, now that we're getting phase 2 or 3 of the debates,
yeah,
he's looser. He's answering off the cuff. He's already learned from his first debate not to be that guy who's reading a script.
I think so. I think he's figuring out a good balance. He does a really good job of sticking to his message, but also being able to riff off of what's actually happening as it's happening,
Right.
There's a moment where, and I mean, it's hard. Like you're balancing lots of balls here, and debates are different, obviously, from governing or campaigning, right? Like each one is a different skill. So it's hard to put too much weight on any of this. But anyway, so, there was basically Cuomo, all he is saying over and over again is, you don't have any experience. You don't know what you're going to do. And one of the big problems is the leader of the state is going to be a problem, and you aren't going to know how to deal with the leader of the state, right? Which is sort of a funny argument to make as a person who is the leader of the state. But here we go.
On you. Shame on you.
No, it is always a pleasure to hear Andrew Cuomo create his own facts at every debate stage.
Yeah.
We just had a former governor say in his own words that the city has been getting screwed by the state. Who was leading the state? It was you.
Governor Hochul.
You were leading the state for
Governor
10 years,
Hochul.
screwing the city.
No.
You cut
You
homelessness
as a
funding.
legislator.
You cut funding for the
You
MTA.
as a
You did all
legislator.
of these things, my
That's
friend.
the
That's
past
you.
4 years. It's the past 4 years.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's like two more little bits, and then we can talk about the flagrant one. And I see your comments, and I do want to get into it because I actually loved him on flagrant, but I understand why it could be problematic. So I do want to talk about that. But let's just finish this up. This was the one piece, and I'm not totally sure how I feel about this because, well, anyway, I'm going to show it without comment.
Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
Such a weird response from Cuomo. What do you think about that moment?
I get the instinct to say not a good moment or corny and sort of cliche and sort of Trumpian, like here in the audience is, you know, because we saw that. What debate was that with the
Hillary Clinton, where he brought Juanita Broderick and some other people. I mean, obviously that was a different situation because Trump is also credibly accused of rape and sexual assault and sexual harassment. So like that lacked class and like honesty on so many levels. But yeah,
honestly, I did not mind that moment from Mondami. I mean, my instinct normally would be to not. I wouldn't have suggested it, you know, if I was a consultant.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it shows that he's fighting for the women that can't speak for themselves directly. The number one story the media has ignored on Cuomo, or barely covered, or not got into depth at least, is that story. So it highlights the humanity of it. And look,
I think you're right. And also, I think a lot of people don't realize the lengths that he went to with his helper, Liz Smith, who then went on to be Mayor Pete's consultant, right? So like lots of just great Me Too people, but that he was like seeking out their gynecological records and got a gag order on her.
Yeah. And look, I mean, politically, if you step aside from what's right, politically, it's pretty smart. I mean, look, every time Cuomo talks, he's got two people on stage saying you're a sexual assaulter, you've killed grandmas, you're terrible.
Right.
So there's nothing that can come back on Mondami by pointing out his flaw. That he doesn't. He can't do a whataboutism with Mondani on that issue at all.
Right.
So politically, it makes sense. You know, I get the gimmicky parts, not that sexy or not that appealing, because we want to focus on issues, but it is an issue and it's a way to get it in front of people. So
yeah, it just feels a little like sensationalist, but also obviously she wanted to be there. I'm assuming she went. I'm assuming she wouldn't be there if she didn't want to be, but it just felt a little bit like Jerry Springer. Not really, but like a little bit like, and now I've got your accuser, but also like she deserves to have voice, and he's silenced her. So I get it. It just, I don't know. There's been, I don't know. That was my least favorite moment of the debate.
Yeah, and to me,
Even
with him, I get it. I don't like the business as usual from politicians here, and that felt like business as usual in the rolling things back to a time when, I don't know, like he's a progressive on fighting on the real issues that mostly economic issues are the core front of his movement.
Right.
I'm so mixed on it, but
those words without being like, and she's right here. Then, like,
yes, I think it would have been better without her in the audience. To be honest, same.
Okay, all right. So let's just so they do. Oh, there's one last moment. I mean, it's all so silly, but anyway, Curtis Lewa, they're asked how they would vote, how they would rank each other because it's ranked choice voting.
Donnie.
If there was a ranked choice election?
In this. You'd have to rank these.
Myself, number 1, and Curtis, number 2.
Mr. Sliwa.
Oh, please don't be glazing me here, Zohran. Are you kidding?
Mr. Sliwa, do you want to...
I support ranked choice voting, but I'd only vote for myself.
Mr. Cuomo?
I love that Zohran and Curtis ticket idea. I don't know. I'm just enamored with it.
You know, trying to say what the cool kids are saying. I think there's like a whole 3 or 4 different posts by Sliwa in the last couple days where he's just, you know, using his new vocabulary word over and over. Like, oh, you're just glazing me. Oh, this person's glazing me. Oh, you're just glazing Cuomo, whatever.
Look, to be honest, I don't like Silva's policies at all, but he comes off as sincere when he's on stage. And he's personable, and he's a New Yorker.
Yeah.
So like he cancels out whatever kind of appeal the true New Yorker Cuomo brings to the table, I think. And he's got the zingers, and Cuomo has 0.0 zingers. Like they're never going to land for him. So
yeah. Cuomo just feels so old and out of touch. I mean, he keeps releasing these AI videos. So like, wait, I'm sorry. I have to put my readers on. I was trying, but I just cannot see anything. Okay, so he puts out this video. This was like 3 days ago. All AI, of course.
Hello, it's me, de Blasio. You know, New York City's least favorite mayor. Today, I want to introduce you to my mini-me mom, Donnie. Hiya! If you thought my policies were evil, you're gonna freaking hate this. Sure will, boss! In 2020, I cut $1 billion from the NYPD, which dramatically spiked crime. But I wanted to fund the police entirely! So evil, so unsafe. My mini-me also wants to cut gifted and talented school programs for kids, just like I tried. Until the backlash. There's no such thing as talent. Socialism means we're all equally dumb. Right. And he's even copying my failed rent freeze I tried on millions of units, which ended up plunging the rates of available units and making the housing crunch higher and stop new housing construction, which would actually lower rents. But I'm gonna do the same thing while doing a TikTok dance. And most evil of all, I depoliced sex work, which ended up increasing sex trafficking for women and young girls in New York City. So I'm gonna take it further by decriminalizing prostitution completely.
Okay, that's so bad that like I almost stopped it in the middle of it now. Like it's so unappealing and does nothing, right? So yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it's terrible. New Yorkers are not going to, excuse me, they're not going to fall. They know what they're going through with the rents. They know, all of New York knows that Cuomo's a scumbag, corrupt politician with all these sexual assault allegations. Right. He's in there to try to block it and get it to Silva or something because he's not going to beat Mamdani. I mean,
I agree, except you keep saying that, and I do think, like, I just want people to get out there and vote. And then we hold Zohran accountable, all of that stuff. But like, I could see the Ackmans and the Wall Streets and the, what's their fucking names? The Clintons, doing something awful just because. So I just, I don't want to, Nothing is possible until
Of
it's done.
course. Look, if you're in New York watching us, go vote. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not discouraging. It's not over. Like, you don't have to get out of bed and go vote.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
But he's cooked. Like, look, the Republicans not going to win, so that leaves it to either
The independent
Cuomo. And Cuomo got rejected by the Democratic voters once. They don't like you running again. That once they rejected you, that's an angry position to take.
He did just get that much sought after Eric Adams endorsement. After the debate, he went and watched the game together. Was that the Knicks playing last night?
Yeah, Adam, who just got gifted a whole position about related to Bitcoin regulation or something, like
a bank. Yeah, it's like a crypto bank. Excellent.
Crypto bank.
He got his corruption charges of was he like taking money from Turkey or something dropped so that he would agree to let ICE into New York, and now he's got a crypto bank.
Well, I mean, now Cuomo's got the second corrupt politician the city has rejected as his endorsement. I mean, it's like if you're consulting Cuomo, you should say don't associate with Adams. And here he is putting out AI slop, and then Adams is my guy.
And of course, like right away, they put out a compilation, smart, of all the times that Adams has said his real feelings about Cuomo.
You criticized Andrew and you called him names, but you know what?
Andrew Cuomo is a snake and a liar.
Andrew is a double-digit loser.
I said, Andrew, are you that level of arrogance? People who run on independent lines are normally just crackpots.
This is not, let me stand behind a cocoon somewhere.
I always said he didn't have the legs to run in New York.
Ask him, when was the last time he was on the subway?
Andrew Cuomo was lazy. New Yorkers have 5 fingers. They love the middle one the most. I had to fix his mess.
What would he do? He'll manage it away? He'll do a PowerPoint? You know, come on.
And you expect for me to step aside when you just lost to Zohran
$25 million.
He didn't want to be mayor.
He didn't campaign.
Newsflash, he lost by 13 points. And that's the highest level of arrogance.
Is he still a snake and a liar?
All I know is all my haters become my waiters when I sit down at the table of success.
Ignore him.
Excellent work. They deserve each other.
I mean, I love it because this is the Democratic Party. These are the two guys. This is the Stop Bernie movement, but it's the Stop Zohran movement. So you're only driving people away from your own fucking party.
100%.
Keep going.
They did come out with a quick little clip of Hot Girls for Cuomo, starring Emily Austin, who did the Walk With Me Zionist Pro AIPAC little video that we did a few weeks ago.
Terrible video.
She's back. Why wouldn't you want her?
So
Look at this.
today, I'm officially starting Hot Girls for Cuomo. So if you are a hot girl for Andrew Cuomo, I want to hear from you.
And look,
I'm trying not to be ageist, but he's got to hit the nursing homes.
He killed all of them. Remember?
Well, not all.
Yeah, I mean, it is also like everything just feels so forced, and everything like. Just like with the whole Democratic Party, it's like, oh, okay, we need to do the walk and talk. We need to do, go talk on podcasts. We need to do the splashy, cool videos in New York. That's why Zohran is like, they will focus on everything but the meat, right? So,
well, yeah, and we just covered Adams. I mean, Adams, remember he was doing the videos where it's like putting on the tie and. A day in the life of Adams, and he does nothing. He walks to his car. People open the door. He does absolutely piss all, and he's like, a day in the life of me. Doesn't say a fucking word.
The exact opposite. Like, the charm of Zohran is that he's like walking the city, meeting people. He could not get words out because people kept stopping him in the middle of him doing takes and being like, are you Zohran? Can I get a picture with you? Right? That was so charming because it felt genuine. And when Cuomo tried to do his video like that, he pretends to help a young black man who has a flat
with his
tire.
car. Yeah.
Sure. But she, or the Cuomo campaign, forgot to do one important thing, which was when you go to hotgirlsforcuomo.com, this is what you are greeted with. Report of investigation into allegations of sexual harassment by Governor Andrew M. Cuomo. Just like rookie mistake after rookie mistake.
Yeah, he's
all right,
got
let's
him.
yeah. Go ahead.
Mom Donnie's got it. That's all. That's all you need to know. But go vote, please.
Yes. Okay. This was, and then we'll switch over to Mamdani, but this was also released and then quickly pulled. This was a video, I think it was either this morning or last night, released by Cuomo's campaign. Unbelievable.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mamdani isn't crazy.
He's just trying to even the playing field.
You know, give everyone a fair shot. Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct. But that was also a metaphor.
His main backer, the Democratic Socialists' ideas are common sense, such as
Decriminalizing misdemeanors, like shoplifting.
third-degree assault, trespassing, prostitution,
And drunk driving.
With plans to decriminalize all drugs, Mamdani will be a job creator for drug dealers.
Instead of helping us homeless get off the streets and into the mental health facilities we need, he wants to give us safe injection sites to do crack and let us sleep in subway carts.
These are actual policies Mamdani and the DSA want to implement on day one.
When a woman's being domestically abused, she finally won't have to deal with some pesky cop to arrest the abuser, but now a social worker to help, kumbaya the situation.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Mamdani is finally lowering jail sentences. Guilt! But Mamdani says you're free to go.
Woo-hoo!
Who cares if legalizing prostitution statistically leads to an increase for sex trafficking of women and young girls by 70%?
You can't have safety without equality.
For unlawful abiding citizens like us, globalize the intifada.
I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal.
I'm a criminal.
Yep. I'm a criminal.
For Zohran.
For Zohran Mamdani.
I didn't have a real job until I was 30, but sure, give me the keys to the city. What's the worst that can happen?
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
It's crazy to me that these consultants charge this guy $1 million probably to spend $200 on Soro AI to make a video where you can see like the pimp in the video has a goatee and then doesn't have a goatee
right
later.
Yeah,
like it's all just so terrible across the board.
Horrible. Like, okay, there was like the Idris Elba one, but then in the next frame doesn't look at all like Idris Elba. There's like the Brendan Gleeson or something. I mean, it was just a mess of AI slop that was so crazy, racist, bigoted, like just disgusting on every level.
Yeah, and when you're Andrew Cuomo and you have to show that the real New Yorkers like you, and you put out a slop mocking every ethnicity you come across. It's got him with the rice. So you're just saying, oh, this is a joke that he eats with his hands with the rice. Like, but how many people in your city are, Indian or Muslim and like, but he's not showing any connection to an actual person, which is what he needs the most for his campaign. He needs humanity to win, and he doesn't have it.
I mean, using AI, gross. Like, right? You could, you don't have any people who are actually supporters. What was the other one? Wait, wasn't it? It was Cuomo, right? Who all of the people who are like, I like Zohran, but I can't vote for him because, and then all of the photos, it was splash ads. So it was stills, right? Of different pictures of people. It basically all said the same thing, but then somebody saw that all of those photos were stock photos, so it wasn't even real supporters of Cuomo. I mean, what this, like, the logical conclusion when he keeps having to use AI, in addition to being cheap and supporting this technology that's going to destroy all of our lives if it hasn't already, is that he doesn't have any actual genuine support. He can't actually go out and find real people to say anything about him.
Exactly. And look, people are not supportive of AI in general. Like,
Right.
as much as we keep trying to raise the alarms of stop using AI, I think in general, a lot of people are turned off immediately when you use AI. So it's not for all the people it might be hitting because this is a funny thing. Other people are like, fuck, AI, really?
It's just so pathetic. And then this morning, he goes on this right-wing nut jobs radio show talking to Sid Rosenberg this morning. God forbid another 9/11. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat? Cuomo asked. He'd be cheering, Rosenberg says. Cuomo paused and chuckled before saying, that's another problem. What the fuck?
Come on.
Yeah, gross. And so at the same time that all of these ads and disgusting things are being put out, Zohran's ad yesterday shows why he's gonna win, I hope.
New Yorkers will cast their ballots. We will make a very simple choice. A choice between democracy and oligarchy. A choice between a city you can afford or more of the same. We can tell billionaires that this city doesn't just belong to them. We can tell Donald Trump he cannot buy this election. And we can tell Andrew Cuomo that New York City is not for sale.
Paid for by Zohran for NYC.
It just gives the vibe of who he is. And again, I know, and we can get into it, I know there are going to be issues with him. I am fully waiting for him to start putting out his Spotify lists and go parasailing with somebody. But right now, I like him and the things that he is saying for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, we said it a million times. I think he's good for the left, even if he ends up being a sellout piece of shit. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, because we have lessons we can take from it. We can say, look, that's what happens when you're a Democrat. So can we drop this whole taking over the Democratic Party thing?
Yeah.
We can also say who fought him the most in all those policies? The Democrats did the whole way. Who stopped the policies? The Democrats did. So, it's not like we're Democrats because we support him.
Yeah. No, definitely. And and then you still have this like completely dishonest, disingenuous smear campaign that he is somehow not being responsive to Jews in New York who don't feel safe, which, first of all, I just reject that claim. Like, I'm not saying that there are people who don't feel safe because they're Jewish. I'm sure that exists, but that's.
But how many Muslims don't feel safe with the, ramping up authoritarianism and targeting and no criminality of any abuse you do to Palestinian people?
Yeah, exactly.
There's much more of that. There has to be
much more of that. So I really don't want to hear about Jews who don't feel safe in New York. That's ridiculous. They're safer now than at any time in the history of the world. Truly, they're safer in New York and in the US than they are in Israel.
And the numbers just don't support it. They support Jewish people support Mamdani more than the other two.
Exactly.
So that argument is just bunk from the get-go.
Yeah, get the fuck out. No, seriously, and yes, by the way, I agree, Raphael. The only people I ever see masking in public who are campaigning are the Socialist Equality Party from the World Socialist website. Yeah, that's it. Kishmore and West. Sorry, my brain is frying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. That's just part of it. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, and Dan Goldman, Representative Dan Goldman from New York, still hasn't endorsed. Schumer still hasn't endorsed. Jeffrey still hasn't endorsed. And it's all about, Jewish safety, blah, blah, which is just bullshit. And I really wish that Zohran would stop capitulating on any level at all to any of these people.
Yeah.
They're never going to like him. It's never going to be enough.
He's getting advice to play it safe down the stretch. Don't say anything that can be a deal changer, which is not the worst thing, but don't change your position at all either. That's
I
what you need to
mean,
do. Is not
yeah.
change your position at
You
all.
should ask India Walton how that went for her.
Right.
I mean, that's my fear is that, the thing, he has so much enthusiasm behind him when he was sticking to his principle and not wavering. And what you don't want is to, diminish that enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, I think, if we have some consultants in the chat, I don't know, but if I'm correct, usually it's about 3 weeks before the campaigns when they drop all the Oppo research. Yeah. So that means more or less 3 to 2 weeks. We're going to see in the next week what they got, because they don't want to drop it too close to the election, because then people don't hear it, or it's not an issue. You want the other guy on their heels defending the thing that you got dropped on Oppo research, so everyone gets a constant message of scary, bad.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you make it through this week, it's the safest thing ever. He's going to win.
I don't think they have anything else on him. They've tried.
No, I don't either.
They're just going to ramp it up more.
Well, the main reason I'm confident of that is they would have used it all in the primary.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so then he goes on the Flagrant podcast. We have shown some clips. Who did they have on before that we showed lots of clips. There was like one period of time. Did they have Bernie on? Yeah, they had Bernie on, right? And they were like, we want to vote for you, Bernie, right? After they were, with the male bro, the brosphere, whatever, podcast, part of that whole assembly of kind of, like anti-woke young guys who believed that Trump would be America first and would, lower prices, whatever. Now they're all horrified by him. They do not have a consistent ideology. They're not steeped in this. They're just like most people going by what they feel. The difference is they have tremendous amounts of money and they have a huge platform, right? So like that's the difference. But most voters don't have time to read theory, to know the history, to understand the ideology of what a liberal is and what a conservative is, and what is the difference between neoliberals and, these fascists, like what happens with capitalism. Like they don't know all that. They just know what sounds right. That's most people.
Most people don't know what neoliberalism even is supposed to mean, honestly, if you ask most people.
Right. So I'm cutting them a little bit of slack, even though they have an enormous platform and gobs of money. So like, then it does feel like they have a little bit more of a responsibility. If you are going to have somebody like Donald Trump on and soften his image and act like he's a fun, cool guy, which is what they did. He's just one of us. Remember his whole like McDonald's phase, and he's driving dumpster trucks and, going on the podcast, and everybody's just like, he's yucking it up. And isn't he so great and fun? So gross, but also like we can't only look for the perfect voters, right? Like the whole point of politics is persuasion.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, a lot of the things these guys, I didn't see this interview, so this will be the first for me to watch it. But a lot of what they're going to ask is the simple stuff that somebody against Mamdani is going to ask. So I feel like it's all fair game. He should be able to answer it all,
Yeah. All right, so let's watch a few. I loved it, so that's why I'm putting all that out there. Good. Like, I don't know these guys individually or whatever, but like, I loved this whole podcast. I watched it all last night.
I also think this idea that like New Yorkers are going to flee because of a 2% increase. It's like, I've been everywhere else. You're not going anywhere. Bill Ackman's not going nowhere. He's going to be in the Hamptons all fucking summer.
There's only one place to write those tweets.
That's it.
New York City. Exactly. Every character you want.
AC goes out in July in Miami. You sweating writing tweets? There's no way.
He's spending more money against me than I would even tax him. Every day it's like $1 million. It's like $1 million. I'm like, Habibi, I don't even want that. You're going above and beyond.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't love that line. I want you to tax him a lot more than he's spending against your tweets. I want him taxed to piss, but I get the joke.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just keep going and then we can talk about it. Okay. The next one is okay, this is actually funny. So you all remember when he was, what was it, like National Men's Day or something, where he goes and I can't remember what it was. This was in August. This was 2 months ago. Yeah, Men's Day in Brooklyn. And they asked him to bench press, and he didn't do a great job of it. And of course, the New York Post had a field day with it. So they asked him about this on Flagrant.
You go, Joey, bring in the bench press because he has to.
Every year, I'm going to do 1 pound more.
Let's go.
Next year, 136.
Let's go.
The year after that,
As soon as you got it in bench, I was like, you fucked up, dude.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Shouldn't have done it.
I knew I fucked up when I saw that. You think I thought I was going to kill it? I knew there was a problem. And this guy was like, you got to do it. I was like, you got to do it. I was like, I really don't.
You should have put the big 10-pound weights on. You know them big 10-pound?
I was trying to get it.
It was all
Now you got it.
I was trying to, but next year, 136.
Okay. Watch your
promises I can keep.
Let's just
136. 136.
You didn't keep 135. 136.
He's gonna get there.
Strike that from the edit.
Dude, who cares? I don't care.
I know. I just
all
thought it was
if he-
cute, like, because he was embarrassed, or it was an embarrassing moment if they highlighted that. Like he's the
Right,
youngest
right.
of the candidates.
No, he handled it great. Yeah, I mean,
right? Like there was
yeah.
something just really and what I saw with, especially, I don't know, Schultz seems to run that room, right?
Yeah.
So, and he also has a show with Charlemagne Lagarde, and they talk about Bernie and they talk about Zohran. And what really appeals to people in this milieu, I'm going to say, as I'm talking about the podcast bros, is authenticity. It appeals to me too, differently, but like it appeals to me too if I feel like people are being honest about it. They were like, we're not socialists, but we like what he's saying. We believe that he believes what he's saying. We got to try something. Democrats suck. That was what he said like 3 months ago with Charlemagne Lagarde. Last night, at one point, he got really it felt sincere and genuine, and is like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want you to fail, because then that will always be used. And it's a fear that I think a lot of people on the left feel, is like, if anybody isn't perfect as one of our leftist candidates, or if they don't get done what they say they're going to do, or if they make one slip up, whatever, it's like, then it's like the burden of the weight of that falls on all of us. And he was like, I think you're great. I want you to succeed. What can we do? How do we make you succeed? I want this to happen. And my feeling is the same thing that I felt about Joe Rogan when Bernie went on in 2019 or 2020, where it's like, or when he goes on Fox and gets a standing ovation. Like, if we just say, like, all of these people, they've said something shitty once, or they supported somebody. Like, I know a lot of people who voted for Kamala Harris, a genocider. Right?
I would say most of my real life people, most people I know in the real world out here, my neighbors and friends and family, voted for Kamala.
So if you can step over a genocide and vote for Kamala, you probably then can understand how somebody could see the racism of Trump and still think, I don't know, I think he's better because he's going to do whatever. Wrong. But like, it's really like, I could just cut out everybody and be like, nobody's worth saving and it's all over. Or we do the project of meeting people where they are. And it felt like he was connecting with them and they were behind him. And like, Kamala's not going to be able to do that. Right?
Oh, no. See, look, this is the thing we've talked about before, but all the consultants said, hey, Democrats, you got to get out and do these sort of podcasts. You got to hit the youth on these little shows, you know? And then they did that, and they've all just failed epically on all these shows because they can't handle talking to a real person and getting off script for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Richie Torres in the chat, you know, because he's running against the whatever that guy's name, Vega, who's
Jose Vega, who's a LaRouche guy. Is he
LaRouche guy?
Yeah.
The LaRouche thing just bugs the piss out of me with him. Yeah. Sorry. But where was I going with this? I don't even know. I got
Richie Torres. You're talking about Richie Torres.
Oh, so Torres was on the show with the Jewish guy. you can help me with that one, where he was asked about Palestine and looked like an idiot for an hour.
Okay.
Sort of a comedian, sort of a comedian adjacent guy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that the minute these guys do what the consultants allegedly want them to do, which is make a showing to leftist sort of smaller podcasts and get off of the MSN a little
Josh
bit.
Shapiro? No. All right, sorry.
No. They all fail miserably. Yeah. They all fail miserably. And
I don't believe anything.
Yeah, and the one thing about Mamdani is he can go and have these talks with anyone, and he really can. He's good at it. He's better at that than the damn debates, to be honest. And he was pretty good in the last debate from the clips I've seen. First debate, second half, he crushed. First half, he was okay.
Yeah. All right, this was the last little bit, and then we can move on to something else. But
Adam Friedlander. Sorry. Thank you, Kimiko.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who is he talking with?
Torres.
That's right. God, my brain, you guys, it's not good. It's really not good. Okay. Yeah, that looked bad.
Sorry.
That looked bad. Okay, so this was just the very last clip, which I thought was funny, but then we can go back to the AIPAC and Israel thing, because I do think that is really important for Democrats right now, especially, and they are failing.
The one in the debate recently where fucking Cuomo couldn't say whether he was going to go to the Mets game or the Knicks game.
He said he wanted to go to both.
The Mets are playing Game 7 of the World Series on the same night as the Knicks are playing Game 7 of the NBA Championship, and you can only go to one. Mr. Cuomo?
I'm going to go half and half.
Like, you'll have moments
just
where...
pick one.
Exactly.
Just pick it.
Exactly. And he's just like, I would do half and half. And you go... This guy.
When they asked the question in my mind, I was like, "There's no wrong answer here," and then he created the wrong answer. And it's like, just pick an answer.
It is a 5-year-old answer.
How are you going to do both?
What I like about him is he just feels real. Can you guys not hear me?
No, you're fine. You trailed off the very end of the last thing, but that's all. You're good.
Very interesting what I was saying. Anyway.
No, he's really good at that, and you need that. And these are sort of the dopey guys in the room that they're not the smartest guys. They're not idiots, but like you need to be able to, when you're in front of a crew like that, you need to. The last person who talks to him is probably going to be able to convince them to believe what you just said if you're good at it.
Yep.
But if you can do that and make them like you too, that's a double whammy. Like
Yeah, and get them on the side of your politics.
Right. Because they previously have basically said that they like him. Yeah, it's not realistic what he's talking about, but they're not even basing that on anything other than they heard that from Democrats.
Yeah, exactly. And I do like if all the billionaires leave New York, first of all, good. Go. And also I do think that what Andrew Schultz said is true. It's like he's spending all this money, like he's a billionaire, right? So he can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars against you. He's not leaving New York, and New York will be better if we invest in the working class. Right?
Yeah, and New York isn't sitting around going, I side with the guy spending millions of dollars to stop the guy who wants to lower my grocery prices.
Yeah.
So,
And what makes New York, New York? It's not the billionaires. Like the billionaires have ruined Manhattan, actually. Where are the artists? Where are the musicians? The academics, the schools? Like everybody's, bent over for Trump. They're like Columbia is a disgrace. NYU, so I feel like the thing that drew people to New York in the first place, they are destroying it.
Exactly. And if there's one state that knows Trump, it's New York. New York knows all of Trump's, faults. And Cuomo, they know he's associated with all those faults.
Yep.
And there's just no reason to not come out strongly. Sorry, I'm getting actually attacked now.
Yeah.
For
Mamdani, yeah, and
for Mamdani,
and listen,
the Democrats, their refusal to do so shows their ass on such an epic level. Like not just for New York. This is where the Democrats are idiots. Yep. The whole world is watching that election. I mean, the whole of the U.S., not everybody, but like people sort of tuned in.
Yeah.
You know, because it's part of the discourse even on CNN and MSNBC.
It's the most prominent. Yeah.
So
and he solves the Democrat problem. I mean, they're lucky he's running in the Democratic Party, which I know we all have lots of things to say about, but like, he's young, he's charismatic, he's smart, he is bringing new people in, people are enthusiastic, he can go on podcasts, he's, you know, like all of those things. So yeah. So going back to the Israel issue, which, you know, I do think that he has pulled back a little bit in some of the wording. He's become much more careful, but he still says, when they say, you know, do you think Israel has a right to exist? He says, as a democratic state where there's no group that has supremacy, which is another way of saying, no, I don't want Israel to exist the way it exists. It's like saying, do you want apartheid South Africa to exist? No, we want to get rid of apartheid, right? Like, it's going to be called Israel at this point because they've stolen all the land. But there could be a way. I mean, they're just, I don't even know. But like, basically what he's saying is, I believe that everybody should have equal rights. That's not what Israel is. So on some level, he's saying, no, I don't want Israel to exist, but he's doing it in a way that I think is possibly bringing more people in instead of pushing people away.
Yeah, and I don't really fault him for that messaging, honestly. It's we're all shell shocked and triggered when we hear a Democrat capitulate even a little bit. Or not a Democratic candidate. I mean, he is a Democrat, but
yeah.
So
well, okay, so this is So last week we had Cory Booker on I've Had It podcast. We had, who were the other? There was like 3 people who really screwed the pooch, and now I can't remember. Gavin Newsom saying, "Isn't that interesting?" Right?
Interesting.
There was Seth Moulton who says he's not taking AIPAC money anymore, but he's going to still take money from private donors. He's still going to vote for certain weapons packages, whatever. Josh Shapiro went on the Breakfast Club. And this is a snippet from that interview.
I did see some of that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
The article in the New York Times about Democrats pulling away from AIPAC. So clearly it's having some impact on them politically if they feel like they got to.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's become a political issue. You've used it as a political issue. You've questioned federal representatives when they're on here on that. I mean, I think if I can say this to you, you know, not trying to offend you here, but I think it's a little bit of a shortcut and a little bit of a lazy question. I think the better question is, how do you really feel about Israel? How do you feel about a 2-state solution? How do you feel about the war? How do you feel about, you know, the hostages or hungry kids or what have you? I think demanding answers on those questions is more important than, hey, what about this lobbying group or that lobbying group?
Well, what do you say to the critics who argue that U.S. foreign policy on Israel is often shaped not by national interest, but by the lobbying strength of these people?
I think that's a fair conversation to have. And I think it should be on any elected official at the federal level to say, hey, I'm listening to this group. But by the way, there's groups on other sides too. I'm listening to that group. But at the end of the day, we want our federal representatives to be able to sit here in this chair and answer the questions about why they voted A or why they voted B or why they feel a certain way. And I think it's just a little lazy to say, oh, it's got to be because of that interest group. Maybe someone actually believes those views, or maybe someone feels strongly about that particular way.
No, it's a shortcut for a reason, because it's money in politics. It's the money in your votes. Show me the people that took out the AIPAC money that are calling out Zionism and calling out genocide. Show me one. Even Josh Shapiro. I mean, Seth Moulton, who had to give the money back recently because he's going to lose his campaign, and he's sort of trying to half-ass a position against the money, but not against Israel.
Yeah.
You know,
and maybe it's just I feel strongly. Well, good. Then that makes you a fucking psychopathic, genocidal maniac if you feel strongly about it. Whether or not I get the money, I'm still going to support Israel. Great. Like, is that better? And yes, Kimiko, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, are you
Dude,
like?
yeah, I caught that too.
Was
Like, are
and
you?
twice. That's lazy. And what he basically he's saying he's lazy. Okay, fine. But what he's really saying is that's your shortcut to saying to be it's just you're anti-Semitic. That's a shortcut for you telling me you don't like Jews. That's what Josh Shapiro is trying to say. Just like with oh, that's interesting. I find it interesting you'd ask that question. I find it interesting, right? Like over and over.
Yeah, you're talking about Newsom, and obviously, and Newsom, he did the whole like, oh, I barely even know what AIPAC is. Like AIPAC doesn't affect my politics at all. Interesting that you would say that. Interesting. Well, if anything, you should think of JPAC, which is the state version. And interesting that Newsom just put JPAC in charge of fucking. They got oversight of our K through 12 education system now.
On anti-Semitism.
Interesting. In California, liberal California has JPAC monitoring our books in schools and our education system. And my strings are literally getting pulled by strike right now. Son of a bitch.
Used it as a political issue. Like, what the hell else is it? And then he tries to tell him, what's the better question? This is the way you should ask me the question. Good. Then what is it? Like, and then implying somehow like, well, there's money on both sides. Really? Is there a lot of pro-Palestine, anti-genocide money coming at people? What's that lobbying group like? Just gross. Like gross on so many levels.
Yeah, his core argument nobody believes anymore. We know money affects the positions. So his core argument is the money doesn't matter. Just get these people in front of you and they should be able to answer to their votes. Well, these people aren't even holding town halls anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to get them all in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like if money doesn't affect you and it's just from the love in your heart for genocide and apartheid and occupation, like, I don't know, like, is that better that you truly believe in it? Great. Good for you. Anyway, I think he probably does truly believe in it. And the money is just the side sauce, but gross.
Well, we should not forget that he was going to be Kamala Harris's VP in lieu of an actual good pick that she had. But he lost because he was caught up in a scandal protecting a friend of his who was accused of murder.
Yep.
And when I say accused, I mean like, dude, he pretty much murdered. You can sue me for slander here.
They said
a suicide with 20 stab wounds or something ridiculous.
To your back.
To her back.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, I don't even know that that's what sunk him. I think that he asserted too much. I think she felt his careerism kicking in, because maybe it was the cover up of the murder when he was Attorney General of Pennsylvania, a friend of his family's, or the son was accused of murdering his girlfriend, and it was supposed to come back on appeal, and then he shut down the case entirely. And it was clear that there was no way it could have been death by suicide because most of the fatal blows to her were from behind. So
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, what that tells you is the Democrats were prepared to lose much worse than they even lost, because if they had him on there, because he was a rabid Zionist, he is and was a rabid Zionist.
Yep.
And Tim Walz had the most measured response of the Democrats on this issue.
Yep.
And that saved her a little bit before they sidelined him and said, you can't go talk to the public.
Yep.
Her campaign was doing okay. It's like she got the nomination. She hasn't spoke yet. It's not Joe Biden. The VP pick is progressive-ish.
Get her on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Should we spin?
Yeah, let's do that thing.
Oh, what happened? That's because I went out of the room. Okay, wait a second. Pat's gonna glitch out. Okay, there we go. 1 second.
Yeah, baby.
I will take it.
Cheers out to my local brewery, OPB, who don't sponsor me, but it's a good beer.
What OPB?
Oak Park Brewing Company.
Yeah,
it's like
all right. Is it good?
Yeah, very good. Here's a little segment from Dan DeSimo, comedian.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No! God, please, no!
I like how whenever someone on the left says, like, release the Epstein list, someone on the right will go, well, you know Bill Clinton's on there, too. Is that supposed to ruin it for us? Oh, no, not Bill Clinton. I gotta get this tattoo removed. There's microplastics in human semen now. We did it. And it's like across the board. It doesn't matter what class you're in. There's microplastics in billionaire semen. That's not good. Kids eat that.
Oh, shit. That's... Wow.
I sort of warned Lila, but I couldn't tell her the joke. I was like,
glad
it's
that you
something
did,
about
yeah.
kids and semen.
I didn't hear you say the semen part. I just heard the mic.
I was trying to get to it. I couldn't remember
yeah,
the joke. I'm
it's
so
good
bad
that
at
you
remembering
didn't. No,
jokes.
because my jaw actually dropped and horrific. And yes, and you know, we, Virginia Giuffre there was a posthumous book that she wrote that's just been released. And it's, you know, the excerpts that I've seen are horrifying, of course, but like, is that really just gonna disappear? They're just gonna disappear genocide. They're gonna disappear Epstein. They're gonna it's all, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because the Democratic appointment is going to have to get approved when they come back into session. And allegedly the votes are there to pursue some of this stuff. So what happens then? Where's the next fall guy? Does somebody have to die? That's
Fetterman's
a senator
gonna come in
agreeing
and be
with
like,
this?
I don't want to. Yeah, they're gonna figure out a way not to, because too many Democrats are implicated in all of this, also, right? So it's never gonna happen, but they can make a big stance on it right now.
Yeah.
All right, where do you want to go with this? Because we have a few different things. We've got we have Graham Plattner had another town hall, I think last night, at some point, like when we were doing our show. And he still is, you know, I don't know. What are you feeling about him?
Look, I since our show last night, even I saw a bunch of Reddit posts that he made in his history, you know, and the guy likes murder. he likes war for the fun of war. He did when he was younger, at least. Yeah. Right. And so his defense of some of the wars that he went to was like, I was against it, but I thought it would be good to have a voice of reason there. And also I was young and hungry for the fight kind of stuff. Like it doesn't. And then, you know, to go, if you're actually a person against the war who fights in the war because you represent our country or for whatever reason, you don't go then work for the evil military contractors.
I mean, to work,
which is what he did next. Which is what he did next. So it's all starting to stink for me. He's still the best candidate. I mean, there's a more progressive candidate, to be honest, actually, but they're not going to win. So it's. Ew. I don't even know the name of the person. I don't know, but I've heard progressives saying, you know, you should be backing this other person.
Not the one who was like Katie Porter's chief of staff or something.
No, not the Democratic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
You know, I'm really torn because I feel like at least he still is giving voice to concepts that we appreciate, but it is, and again, because people can transform, they can grow, they can change their minds, right? So like, I do think that that's also important. And if the left is always just holding out for a perfect candidate, good luck. Like, seriously, good luck. Because I have something negative to say about all of the left candidates that we've talked about on our show over the last 3 months, right? So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just apathetic on his candidacy at this point.
I'm sort of ambivalent.
But look, if you look at this is where I think Mondami's in good shape. Look at his Oppo research. It all dropped last week.
Yeah.
It's the 3 to 2 weeks before the campaign. They throw everything they got at you. If they can sink you, they do it then. They seem to be sinking him right now, although he's still ahead from the polls I've seen, right? So
yeah, Plattner, yeah, it just came out. Now this is post the Reddit stuff, but pre the tattoo. So it was just released because obviously they were gathering this data. And yeah, he's at 58% and Janet Mills is at 24%. Jordan Wood is the person I think who worked for Katie Porter. I also do think that there were quite a few Reddit posts where he does talk about himself as a socialist, where he is, angry about the misogyny in the military. I don't know. It's too bad that this is what it comes down to. This was
it's murky waters, but his positions are strong. Yeah. I appreciate that part of it, at least. And look, he's not the faults that he has. I don't believe he's a plant he's not a CIA plant. He's just, he chased money and did stuff that he liked that I don't agree with. And maybe he has different views on it now. But his views now are correct, at least. So if you look at him through a lens, it should be, maybe he grew, maybe he didn't, but I don't think he's putting out a false position.
I also think if we allow his takedown by Democrats, because obviously it's the Democratic Party who's trying to bring him down with all of this, after they spent all this time saying that they had gone too woke with Kamala, which is and now they're going to try to get him canceled for some stuff that they supported, by the way. Like, they supported the Iraq war. They did not want to prosecute George W. Bush. They love him now. So, I don't love any of that, but now they want to cancel him, and it's only because of his economic policies.
And it does remind me a little bit about, I said this yesterday, but Prop 50 in the state about redistricting California. The Republican radio stations in town are like, well, you can't just do what we did as Republicans in other states. That's immoral. Like, you're supposed to be better than that, Democrats. And Democrats are like, this guy shouldn't have a fucking racist tattoo, although we have all these other Ukrainians. And, so the hypocrisy is a real thing. Yeah. But we also have to stand up for our values. Like, if he didn't have a good defense of his former positions and he didn't cover up the tattoo, and I'm not backing him now anyway.
Biden, he was a segregationist. This guy got one drunken tattoo. Yeah. It sucks, but he wasn't, doing eulogies for, Strom Thurmond or whatever. Like, a little different, but the Abu Ghraib thing and the Blackwater, that's. But anyway, yes, a journey. People change. This was his town hall yesterday.
I've seen articles from mainstream media or legacy media where they haven't talked about you before at all, but now, I don't want to make a connection, but after Janet Mills started running, and it's kind of been, without saying, I feel like I don't need to say anything. Everyone knows what I mean, but your thoughts.
I'm not going to minimize what has come out. I am not today who I always have been. I used to hold different opinions. I used to use different language. I said things and believed things that today I find abhorrent. I also grew. I met new people. I learned of other people's experiences. I realized that my experiences were my own, and they colored my opinions and where I was. And that the more open I could be to listening to other people's stories, the more open I was willing to be to extend compassion and empathy to others, the more I realized that many of those stories and beliefs that I had were wrong. And I changed them. And it was through that journey that I became who I am today. And I will say this, I am ashamed of things I once said, but I am not ashamed of who I am today. The establishment is spooked. And I'll say this, if they thought that this was going to scare me off, if they thought that ripping my life to pieces, trying to destroy it, was going to make me think that I shouldn't undertake this project, they clearly have not spent a lot of time around Marines.
I mean,
it's.
I appreciate that. I was a vote blue no matter who. I was a Zionist. People can change.
And I like everything he's saying there. I don't think it's even disingenuous, to be honest. I think he does. I think he probably did change, but it's fair to have skepticism of it. And, hopefully he wins. I mean, he's going to take a big hit from this. This is actually going to be a very close campaign where it wasn't.
Yeah.
Those numbers that we just saw they don't reflect the enthusiasm of 3 weeks of this stuff being in front of progressives that we're going to vote for him.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Because then this is the person who the libs will all get behind, who runs on pretty much nothing.
You will be seeing on my Patriot site new knee pads that I'll be sending out, the new signature series knee pads for all these CEOs, for the University of Virginia that I'll add to the list today, for bending their knee, for those law firms, the universities, media companies, as this guy's rolling back, rewriting history, putting us back to pre-1960s world, censoring historic facts. Wake up, everybody.
As he vetoes bills that protect workers, protect them from AI, protect them from their management, does homeless sweeps, and he's got a merch shop with knee pads.
Yeah, and the whole trying to pretend knee pads are about bending the knee. It's about being gay and sucking his dick. That's we all know what this is. And Philip Blair in the comments says, "Is this AI?" I had to watch that 2 or 3 times and check who it was from. I'm like, is this really coming from a California governor?
Is this really from his account? So
no, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but when I saw it from his account, I still had to look and is this really what Democrats are doing now? Is this it? This in California of all places, the potential, at least top 3 potential candidates for 2028. This is the guy.
Yeah, especially because he bows down to every, all of Silicon Valley and Hollywood. He just takes their money and does their bidding. Right after, I know I talk about this all the time, but right after the 8-month strike of actors and writers happened, there were 3 pro-worker, pro-union bills that came to his desk that he vetoed.
Yeah, I mean, his list of vetoes, because I don't know, was it twice a year or something? They have this big session of the legislation where they all veto, whatever approved. He basically vetoed every progressive bill almost, in front of him.
Yeah.
You could not have a more Republican person in charge of vetoing bills. He vetoed stuff that hurt him with his own party left and right. To telegraph to the nation that he's not that left.
Yeah.
That's why he does the photo ops sweeping homeless camps. He's not that left. He's not that left. Yeah. That's the message there.
Yep. We were too woke. The left's too woke. That's what he told Charlie Kirk in his inaugural podcast episode. Yeah. Has Charlie Kirk on, totally glazes him.
He talks about
yeah.
Glazes him, and he talks about how his son loves him so much. You are such a fail in life if your son you're the fucking Democratic governor and your son loves Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna call you a bad dad at this point because you have turned this kid against you like a motherfucker.
Yeah, or against the things you say you believe in. Absolutely.
The kid's probably up on the hypocrisy, but don't go to Charlie Kirk. The answer. You're a kid, but
yeah. Justin, thank you. I have to read. I read your son. Meme campaigning, isn't it? Hit them on policy. Newsom can't because he hasn't and he never will. He's not up to the task. I absolutely agree. Like, I honestly don't want to hear about anything but policy. I just don't. I don't care. I don't care if you're gruff. I don't care if you scream. I don't care if you don't write birthday cards. I want to know that you are pro working class, pro anti-genocide, pro, healthcare, like all the things that we talk about forever. I don't care about the gimmicky shit. It's so stupid and it's embarrassing. And they blow in the wind because if you want to say you're a centrist, what does that mean? Again, like I know we talk about this all the time, but if you can't talk about your politics without mentioning Republicans, and that's not to say like, oh, he's doing, of course, like list the things that Trump is doing or Republicans or most of the Democratic Party. But if you can't, like, if you can't put forward your affirmative idea of how you see the world without mentioning Trump, that's not an ideology.
And you got libs that eat up this stuff, right? But they're a small segment of people because the libs are unaffected by all the policies that everybody else fucking wants. You lose elections because you appeal to the libs because it's the only tactic you have other than doing progressive shit.
Yeah.
Right? So they rely on these memes that aren't winning anyone over. It also makes it unserious to the world when you're fighting fascism with memes.
Yep.
You don't fight fascism with memes. You fight fascism with protests and disruption and policy.
Yeah. And demands, making demands, not like, exactly. The gimmicky meat thing is just so, like, I don't know.
Sorry. You faded out.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Mike, is that what you said?
It did the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it did
all right, I'm leaning for it. All right, we are, because we kind of made a promise to ourselves and to you guys so everybody doesn't burn out on us that our Thursday show, we were going to try to really keep, to an hour and a half.
Yes.
Right?
So we should probably tighten it up.
Yeah.
We don't have a one good thing, but we could go out on a one, all billionaires are bad. We could go out on one of those.
I love that. We didn't get to anything with Israel. God damn it.
Well,
not good.
We got Sunday. Sunday we will make sure to focus on Israel.
Yeah. All right, let's go out on all billionaires are bad, but then we will come back because we didn't wrap it properly. So stay tuned. But
a little humor, and then we'll be right back.
Fill her up.
Educational humor.
Welcome back to the joy of AI painting. Today all we'll need are some creative prompts for our AI generative software. What about a painting of a lily-speckled pond with cattails and duckweed before a sprawling farm with an old red barn at sunrise? Oh, would you look at that? It's funny. By trying to fill the void inside of us, the software actually brings it terribly into focus. Many wonder how exactly artists will be replaced by AI. A good early example could end up being Tilly Norwood, the AI actress created by Elaine van der Velden. The backlash to the idea of agencies signing Norwood has become so strong that van der Velden released a statement saying she never meant Norwood to replace human beings. Rather, she's meant as a new tool for directors. Which begs the question, what is an actress? A tool or a human being? Well, for Harvey Weinstein, the answer is tool. But for the rest of us, we think of a camera as a tool and an actress as a performing artist. And just because some artists are tools does not mean that they're not human beings. Yes, the commercialization of art is bad enough as it is without AI slop. But the backlash is what's really important here. On-screen talent will only be replaced by AI if we allow it to be. If we publicly declare time and again that this sucks cock and balls, then there won't be a market for it. Well, that's it for today. Join us next week as we generate an image of a fire truck-shaped dog.
That's awesome. Who is that guy? What's his name? Do you know?
Oh, jeez. Joe Nunnick. Yeah, he puts out, he does some good Trump stuff too. He does impersonations, but he's got a whole series where he's always hitting the AI slop as Bob Ross.
I love that. Just as a quick reminder, Amazon plans on replacing 600,000 U.S. workers with robots. Sam Altman has now decided that if jobs get wiped out, maybe they weren't even real work to start with, as he is now become too big to fail. We're going to bail out this AI bubble. Don't you worry. And in the largest study that's been done so far by the BBC, shows that AI assistants misrepresent news content 45% of the time, regardless of language or territory. It is evil. Yeah. It is evil.
Just to tie it into movies, I think I actually said this last night, so maybe I shouldn't again. But anyway, Tron. I read a whole article on the new Tron movie, and it was so clearly written by AI that they blurred all the movies Tron ever made into the script of the new movie. And it was like somebody just pushed a button and wrote an article on the movie that's probably heavily as well. But protect art. I mean, it's protecting people and jobs and humanity,
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, what did we go on a 9-month strike for? We were the canaries in the coal mine, and we failed out here in Hollywood. Really depressing. Is that the one good thing? I always like to end on something cheery. All right, you guys are all awesome. We love you. Cheers to everybody. Keep punching up. We will be back on Sunday at 5. Pat, any sign-offs?
See you Sunday. Don't share AI slop. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Bye.